Welcome back to Prepper Talk Radio. We are radio for the ready-minded. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Fantastic and great. We're streamed live wherever you are. We are recorded wherever we are. And we're grateful that you're here. We're happy to help. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by us, but sponsored by Jase Medical. If you haven't checked them out, we're going to be doing a podcast with them soon. Click the link below in the notes because you're going to get $10 off an order at Jase Medical, where you can get your antibiotics set up for a year. So you can have everything you need. Instead of having to go try to find the fish stuff or the horse stuff or something else stuff, get the human stuff for you stuff. They're a trusted medical provider. I love them. I've got my kit. Shane's got his kit. Paris has his kit. And I'm getting another kit for my wife, and they're coming out with some really cool stuff in the future. So tune in, pay attention, make sure you hit like and subscribe to all of our stuff so that you're notified every time we give you a new audio or video. Also, because the time's running short, check out in the links below, Fortress Clothing. You're going to get 20% off using the promo code PREPPER. This is only good till June 1st. So you better hurry and get this done now. Otherwise, prices are going to be higher. And hey, who knows, with inflation and everything else, prices are going to go up on everything in the next year. So make sure you're getting these things taken care of now. If you have the means, get it done. And today we're going to jump into the topic that's, I guess, a sexy topic in prepping. Everyone talks about it a lot, but nobody has a real good plan. Well, most people I talk to have a bad plan. And here's the typical bug out idea that I hear a lot. Hi, Bob. How's it going? Good, Scott. How are you doing? Doing great. How is your prepping going? Great. I've got a new bug out plan. Oh, really? What is your new bug out plan, Bob? Yeah, I got a backpack full of stuff, and I could probably get about 200 miles out of that. I'm just going to hike off into the mountains. Okay, Bob. And where are you going to die in the next 3 days? Because that's what's going to happen. Everybody that has this idea of I can just bug out without having a predetermined location, without having primary, secondary, and tertiary routes to that location, without having other resources at that location, what are you thinking? Like bugging out is a military term, and it means strategic relocation. We're pulling out of this location to get to the next location that has resources, that has additional people, that has everything that we don't have access to here anymore is going to be there. So when you're thinking bugging out, when you're thinking, where am I going to go next? Hurry and figure that out now before you have to bug out, so that you have everything in place, a plan in place, systems in place to take care of you when you get there. For example, I've got a friend, his name is going to be, let's just call him Knuckles today. And Knuckles has a pond with a stream that flows into the pond and a stream that flows out of the pond. He has about 15 acres and he lives in a semi-remote location. And Knuckles has a couple of goats. He's got chickens. I think he even has a couple turkeys at this point. But he has a huge garden and he has plenty of additional resources, including backup generators, solar collectors for his generators. And then he also has a very nice security system called Giant German Shepherds. And I think he has 3 or 4 of those now. So he's got a great bug out location, of which the 3 of us have been invited to. However, actually it's not 20 acres. I think it's 3 acres. I don't know where 20 came from. But if you don't have something like that to go to, where are you going to go? And if you don't have plans to get there, like that's one of the locations I can go to. I have another location that doesn't have as many resources right now because we haven't been able to set it up. So would I want to go there? Not necessarily. If I have to go somewhere, that's another option if plan A is gone. I also have a plan C, which actually should be before B. And that is, there's a location I have that's about 280 miles away that actually is stocked. And is I'm welcome there. Not everybody's welcome there, but I'm welcome there. And if I can get there, I have things that I can bring with me, and I have skills and I have abilities that will work with the group that's already there. You know, Shane, you've been working on your location. Paris, you're new to Utah, so you know everything's in kind of, what do I do mode. But when it comes to bugging out, like what are your philosophies? Because everyone's philosophy is a little different. What are your philosophies or strategies behind it? Or what do you think people need to be doing first before they jump to the conclusion, I'm building a bug out bag and I'm leaving town when crap hits the fan?
I'll raise my hand.
Go, Shane.
You
got a few things to say, I'm sure.
I do. And there are, I'm just looking out my window and seeing the creatures, whole bunch of baby cows running by, the cutest thing ever. Literally like 5 baby cows running down the field with each other.
Your anyway, dinner is hoofing it away, huh?
There's a big dinner right over there. But I think there's only 3 scenarios in when, if you really think about bugging out, right? First, like you said, Scott, bugging out is the strategic relocation prior to an event happening, right? I'm bugging out, I'm getting out of the city. And I think the first steps are first recognizing that where you are is not a ideal place for survival. When the grid goes down, if you lose water, you lose power. If the stores run out of food, you don't have enough land to plant any kind of crops there. You don't have a greenhouse. There's other things, potential things you can do for gardens with the neighborhoods and such. But living in a densely populated area where your neighbors aren't prepared, and you've got to get out at some point. The first step is to get out early. The second scenario is a bad one. Just like you say, I'm getting out. I've got a backpack. Maybe I have my car still running. I'm gonna throw everything in my car and just go to a place that I usually camp, right? It's gotten bad. The crime has increased. There's a reason to get out. There's a volcano. There's an earthquake that destroys your house. But at that point, you're a refugee. The third one is essentially, you're a refugee, right? Maybe your home has been destroyed. You have no place to live. And you don't have a place nearby. You don't have family nearby. You've got to bug out. You've got to find a new place. And that's when you're a refugee and you're throwing caution to the wind. You know what the heck you're doing. You're just trying to carry everything you can with you, and it ain't going to fit in a backpack.
Yeah, I think like a lot of times people don't think of like, okay, there's an evacuation where I need to evacuate because of potential fire damage or a flood or something coming, like immediate danger. You will bug out, right? You might be bugging out to a hotel. You might be bugging out to a family member's house, right? Those need to be pre-planned. You need to figure out where you're going to go, because if it's a huge evacuation, a lot of people are going to probably go to the same hotel that you're thinking of going to. Mm-hmm. So living options are going to be greatly reduced, but then also it creates a dependency issue on where are we going to get the resources we need and everything we want to get through this.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest things that I would always do when I was in California. I would, as a member of my church community, I was one of the guys who was in charge of helping people get prepared for things. And you got to figure out what's going on in your area. Is your area a flood zone? Is your area a fire zone? Is your area an earthquake zone? Like, what's in your area? And I was of the opinion, honestly, I didn't really understand bugging out until I got in with you guys, and it taught me some of the things that we're talking about today. Because to me, it was like, oh, cool, I have a backpack. It's got, at this point, I feel like it's got 100 pounds worth of stuff, but it needs to be much lighter. And I was like, sweet, I'm good to go. I'll survive whatever. And, when you have in the area where I lived in California, for those of you who remember, and it'll happen a little bit in a couple other states, but Texas has been flooding. But in California at the time, there was a lot of fires, and people needed to have something they could grab really quickly and just get and go so that they would be safe. And that's one form of bug out. But as I'm listening more and more to the stuff you're talking about and having a strategic relocation places, that, one of my favorite movies of all time is, and any prepper who doesn't have this is one of their top movies, and doesn't have to be number one, but just on the list, is the Red Dawn. And those dudes bugged out. They saw the invasion coming. They knew that they needed to get to a place of safety, and they took the gear they had, they put it all together, and they had a location. Some of them had a better location than others. Some of them had to build a location when they got there. But having that idea in your mind already, like, what today, if you had to leave today, where would you go?
Yeah. So the thing is, we talk about, we got to practice. So grab your bag and bug out. Just do it. Yep. And see how well it goes for you. Right. It's not going to go well. It might go for be fine for a couple of days, and then what?
Mm-hmm.
And make that your vacation. Like, make that like the weekend thing. We're going to go out for 5 days. Like, can I survive on just my bug out bag for 5 days? Can I survive on just what we can fit in the car for 5 days in our secondary location? If you don't practice that, how will you ever know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm totally guilty of that right now with the kids. Like, I just haven't done that with the kids yet. My wife and I actually did that a couple times before the kids came, and we practiced, and we went to one of our locations. We're like, yeah, we need a lot more stuff here to make this really work.
Mm-hmm.
And put that location from first down to second, and then later down to third, so testing it out and seeing what can we really do there, what's feasible, what's possible. That's the key. And then testing and practicing and testing. Like, I've taken my bug out bag from 40 pounds down to 25 pounds because I realized a lot of the stuff there is useless. When am I like, I carried a large saw, useless. A small saw is more than enough. In most cases, I can just take my fixed blade knife and chop through some small wood to create a temporary shelter for wherever I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
But I need a long-term solution whenever I get there. So if I don't already have tools there, trying to carry those tools there on my back, bad idea.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a guy I know who has a 75-pound bug out bag. And I sat down, I went through it with him. I'm like, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't like, I went through everything and I told him, like, get rid of all these things. And I kid you not, he looked at me and he says, I need those. And I said, what do you need a 10-pound battery backup for on your backpack? And he's like, for my computer. I'm like, okay, where are you going? We're going into the woods. And how are you going to have Wi-Fi? How are you going to, why do you need a computer? He had his laptop in his bag and a 10-pound battery. I kid you not. And he was planning on taking that, bugging out. Well, movies for my kids. I'm like, your kid is 3. Play with them. Get them involved in like chopping wood, like gathering sticks and stuff, kindling, like get them involved. Like, there's other games. You don't need to watch movies all the time. And I'm still sick about it because he won't listen to the common sense. I'm like, go talk to 10 other preppers and let them have them look at your bag.
Yeah. And if you're bugging out by vehicle, I mean, that's one thing, right? You've got a trailer to load up and go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it takes a lot of planning, a lot of practice. You know what I'm doing, guys. I'm here at my bug out location, and truly, this is a bug out location. I'm in my RV. I've got some land. I've got a water source. I've got power. I'm building a Quonset hut shelter, which I'll have a wood stove in there. I'll have some cots in there. I'll have a bathroom in there, and greenhouse goes up next. And this is truly going to be a bug out location for me, but it's also going to be a vacation spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
The family can come here, the brothers and sisters, and just, have a good time. And it's located close to national forest, and we can go fishing. So it's a multi-purpose place, but it truly is a bug out location. But how long have I been working on this? Do you know, you guys know how long I've been working on this?
Years.
Since I've known you, that's
yes.
all you talked about, but you didn't have the land until a year ago.
Until about a year ago. It's been so I've been in this process coming up on a year. Just the time to get the utilities in. When we build the house, which won't be for another year at least.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be camping out here, in any kind of emergency, but we've got the Quonset, the greenhouse, the trailer for camping in. It takes time, a lot of time to put these resources together, to get the resources out here, get them staged, and even duplicates. So I can imagine my bug out bag working in this instance, in this one very small instance. My family are, I'm going to be kind of rough here. My family are all dead. It's just me. We had an EMP. I can't drive. Maybe I have my motorcycle. I can ride that for 100 miles till I run out of gas. And then I'm on foot with my backpack to get here where I have all of my stuff already. That's bugging out, I think, is the way most people think about it. And it's only going to work for me. I can't bring anybody else along with me because, maybe my son, maybe some other kids could make it walking with me 100 miles. But it's not going to happen. So we're going to be bugging in at that point, right? We're not going anywhere if everybody can't